There we go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Opinion Junkies here on Pez of the Mind, where we talk about up to two things in news that happened previous week, or in my case, a little bit before that. Shut up, nobody's keeping track. And our catch-up section, where we talk about up to two things we did in the previous week, and then our topic, which today is, was it the social media and how it affects TV, or did you? Or
Yeah.
is it
Yeah,
something
that's
else?
it.
Okay.
It is. And to be fair, to your credit, you were going to say that last week, but you were having issues, so we will allow it. It's not going to be like every week.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know what that was. Like in the sound settings, it muted the microphone, which is weird because I haven't even opened that in 8.1. But sure, whatever. I guess.
Yeah, and we was having a
All right.
conversation with Skype, and nah.
Yeah,
These
yeah. Just switch over like within 2 minutes. It's like, you know what? Fuck you. What? Anyway, so without further ado, let's jump into our news for the week. So with your first bit of news, take it away, Mole.
Did you say a poo? Huh?
Ha ha.
Okay, no. It's unrelated to The Simpsons. Despite what GameStop has in mind, Sony may actually still make its promised first half of 2016 release date for the PlayStation VR. The company has sent out invites to a special media event just ahead of the annual Game Developers Conference. Only adds to the suspicion when you consider PlayStation has used the trade show for the setup's debut in 2014, announcing a release date and upgrade and inwards last year. It only seems more likely we'd get a hard release date and price on the helmet. According to the fact, adding to that is the fact Sony was quick to refute GameStop CEO Paul Raines' claim that the console-based VR hardware wouldn't launch until this coming fall. So we'll be in attendance. It says here at the news people will. They'll be in attendance at the event, of course, and there's still about a month before it transpires. Until then, you can always jump in with comments and your best guesses as to when it'll hit retail and how much it will cost. So yeah, next month some PlayStation VR event.
Awesome. All right. So with your first bit of news, take it away, Pew.
Alright. So, there's a lot of Pokemon shit going around.
Yeah, I caught
I mean that
Pokerus
in
last
positive-
week.
I mean in the most positive way possible. I just mean there's like a lot of stuff. I'm not like still saying boo Pokemon or anything like that. I just mean there's like a lot of stuff.
Please be discovered.
But anyway.
That was.
Did Rick see that?
Yeah. That was something.
That was fun.
So
I'd like it better, but he's so he has stumpy, or she has stumpy little arms and legs. It's just awkward.
Yeah, but let her read the news.
Okay.
Alright, so as
Ba-la-la-la-la.
they say, the fun begins with a Pokemon photo booth app that allows you to take Pokemon-themed pictures. Now, what I can only imagine happening from this is various people taking shots of their dick and somehow framing it in the mouth of a Pokemon in the background.
I call mine Waylord.
That's what I imagine, like the first picture they take it and then everything else.
I'm going to be taking pictures of my balls coming towards a Togepi.
Yeah, you know. But yeah, so that's coming out. It'll be coming out on Apple first and then Google Play. So if you have just only Google Play, you'll have to wait a little longer.
And if you have Windows?
Fuck off, I guess. I don't know.
Pretty much. That's what they all say.
So.
Kidding, I'm still hopeful for what they talked about last time. But when they said that Apple and Google stuff will soon be able to be worked onto the Windows, they're making it a lot easier. I'm really hopeful.
Alright, so there's going to be a big thing going on. Twitch will be hosting a whole bunch of Pokemon events, from tournaments to apparently ban and discussions about games. You shouldn't be discussing anything on Twitch. It should always be a game, but like, whatever. It's fine. I just don't want to watch people talk about Pokemon. Just fucking like do shit. Like, whatever.
You've
Anyway.
literally just described my entire thoughts to do with Let's Plays.
At least like they're playing a game. This is people talking about playing a game. It's
Yeah,
even
but
worse.
when it says the discussions, Pew, like when it did Pokemon Play, like when it did Twitch Plays Pokemon, people were having discussions about what they were watching at the same time they're watching it.
I know, but at least there's someone playing something. Here, no one's
Yes.
playing anything.
I assume because it's Twitch, you would assume the discussion would be part of what's going on.
They just know, but they said it. I don't know the way they wrote it. At least it could be possibly, but they said it was two separate activities because they have like timetables.
Because
So
it is.
the
It is
discussion
technically
and then gameplay, like that's two separate.
Yeah,
like,
but
I don't know.
if they're discussing it as well, like the developers are discussing it, people will join in and discuss it with them, like the social
Oh, I'm sure
media
they
lambs
will.
on the wrestling.
But like, I don't think like that. Like, should be on Twitch.
I think that belongs on Twitch a lot more than some of the stuff that is on there. For example, load up PlayStation Live now and look at what the hell they've done to Playroom.
Okay,
Ooh.
that's fair enough. But
I
at
think
least-
that's not on Twitch. I think that's on Pornhub.
Not
I
the
don't
one
know
that got banned. Not the one that got banned. But do you remember when they said they were going to make sure nothing like that happens again?
Mm-hmm.
It was only like a week later, and people are still using what's that called? The play thing. They're still doing that to just sit around on a couch or something, playing music and just talking about everything other than gaming.
Mm-hmm.
But because they have a PlayStation controller in the hand, every now and again go and pull it across and summon something. Twitch is like, yeah, why not?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no.
That's really shitty. But also, on a more positive note, would be more slightly entertaining. At least they're having pretty much a 24-hour marathon that will include pretty much all the Pokemon specials from the series, movies, the episodes, pretty much all of that. Pretty much from 6 o'clock to 6 o'clock, like Saturday to Sunday.
See, they've missed out there, Rick.
Mm-hmm.
Detective Pikachu, the mini-series, one-off, 24 hours, filmed exactly like 24.
Ha!
I'd watch it.
The other thing they're doing is that in New York City, in the Rockefeller Plaza, the Nintendo store is having a whole kind of, I want to say a meet and greet with Pikachu thing for kids, but I imagine there's going to be other characters there. But so that starts at 3 p.m. And there's a bunch of other like activities you can do there. Again, like lots of people in costumes. I imagine to be more than just Pikachu, but it just specifically says Pikachu. So it could be a bunch of Pikachus. I don't know. That'd be scary if like 20 Pikachus are there.
I believe the correct term is Pikachu.
Pikachu, that's not right at all.
Yeah, one Pikachu, two Pikachu. It's a collective term.
Also,
Ooh, Pikachu.
Toys R Us has special foil cards for the whole momentous, anniversary thing. So that'll be cool. Like, exclusive like stuff that'll be on eBay in 5 seconds.
Oh, the cards they're giving out are foil?
Mhm.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, they're
Didn't look like that in the
exclusive.
picture. Maybe I'll have to drag my
Oh,
kids.
that's what it says. It's giving out a whole bunch of
There you
exclusive
go.
foil cards.
Oh, is it only that one?
I don't know.
It says at participating Toys R Us. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can,
Toys R Us. Sorry, I thought
Yeah.
you were talking about the New York.
Oh,
okay.
no.
event.
I mean, maybe they could also do that
'Cause-
there, but these are the anyway Toys R Us specific ones.
Yeah.
The gift shops are offering also a bunch of posters.
Yeah.
Free posters while supplies last. So that's cool too.
Cool.
So yeah, that is pretty much about the anniversary thing.
Awesome. All right, and then so for mine from last week that I totally brought back because I just wanted to talk about it because it's hilarious to me. But since I usually bring the wacky collector's editions, so there's no F1 race car, but I don't remember if I mentioned this one, but for Dying Light they had one. I forget what they called it, but you got like a shack out in the middle of the wilderness and this other like survival training and shit. And
when you say you get a shack, does that mean you actually get like a wooden log cabin, or do you get a really horrible actor who ruined the movie Steel?
why not both? Well,
I like the idea he comes with afraid. You get shocked.
he's like, I need money. He's just sitting in the corner. So when they released Dying Light: The Following Enhanced Edition, which is basically the Game of the Year edition, they made the Dying Light: The Following, the Spotlight Edition, which for only $10 million, which is funny because this was like, as far as I could tell, it was listed on Games site, so I don't know why it's in dollars. But anyway, you get a supporting role in the Dying Light movie, a speaking role. Yeah.
Maybe it was a US one, so they did what our ones do, where they always convert it into the currency of the people reading it.
Oh, okay, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like, I'm just looking at they had like a picture on it.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, so you get a supporting role in the movie. You get professional acting lessons from Roger Craig Smith. You get a personal trailer on the set, 10 VIP tickets for opening night, stuntman / parkour training, an FX makeup session. You get off-road driving course.
Session or make out session.
I don't look at the picture. I don't think you'd want to make out.
No, I'm just joking. I'm clearly joking.
It's Pew. She'll make out with anything.
That's true. Okay. Well, if she has $10 million, hey. Then you also, I guess, get to voice the main character for whatever reason. You get a first-class accommodations of flights for the screening tour. You get original copy of the script, and the cherry on the top is 4 copies of the game, all for only $10 million.
Nice. So we need to make sure Pew wins that. I want to play a Dying Light that every time you get hit, it goes.
That would be amazing. That she goes through all the like stuntman parkour and professional acting lessons training, and then just like her supporting role, it's like she like jumps over this wall, lands, like tucks and rolls, gets up. And they're like, "Do you have the thing?" And she's like, "Yeah, they like exist and stuff." And the guy's like, "Thanks," and then just runs.
Take my chainsaw, Buzz Buzz.
Oh, I found the for Buzz Buzz. But yeah, I know it'll reach a point where they do too many of these things, but every once in a while, these like ridiculously stupid, no one's gonna buy them special editions are at least good for a chuckle.
See, I like them because at the end of the day, the people who do it are normally ridiculously pricey, having a ridiculous amount of money anyway to do this. But I'm like, well, okay, if you've got the money to waste it on this, then fine, that's fine. It funds the studio.
I don't know.
Spent on this, boom. That's like an entirely new development team.
It's true. I don't think anyone buys these though. I don't know if anyone bought the. I hope so. I hope that there's one of those like oil princes.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm gonna prove you wrong, Greg, because I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna show up at the time when it's gonna arrive. I'm gonna be in the car park. I'm gonna snap a picture because you'll see him get out of his limited edition sports car he got given from his last collector's edition as he walks in casually.
Yes.
I like to think it's the same guy. I don't know why.
He just buys all of them.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing. He drives his F1 race car off the set of the movie to his cabin in the middle of the woods. And there's another one that I can't remember that was like stupid crazy. Oh well. But yeah, so really like that. On to the next bit of news. Take it away, Mole.
Speaking of people with ridiculous amounts of money and movies, FilmRatings.com has the MPAA have officially had Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman rated R. There's a bit of a catch there, however, as the film will be released in theaters as PG-13. The Batman v Superman rated R cut is going to be for an upcoming Blu-ray edition entitled Dawn of Justice Ultimate Edition. And the rated R was given to the extended cut because of sequences of extreme violence. I'm like, fuck yeah. Like I mentioned with Deadpool, when me and you guys had been I don't know if it was on the air or not, but I remember discussing it with you, Rick, and Marcus. when people were calling for a PG-13, and I was like, I'm all for that, because it means like this one, I can go see it with like say my niece or my nephew in the cinema. They can have fun, they can enjoy it because it's PG-13. But when the actual Blu-ray comes out, I can get that just for me, and I can just watch it with myself, and I still get equal enjoyment. Therefore, you're doubling who's going to be able to see your film, and everyone wins.
All right, I'm still waiting to see Zack Ryder's Man of Steel versus Batman. Battle for Long Island.
It still won't be as good as Kanye West's Jetsons. I still want to see that film so much. It's gonna be that's gonna be like the thing that our generation holds up to be the craziest, shittiest fuck thing ever.
Yeah, we're due for another like Waterworld or Pluto Nash or something.
We're due for another moonwalk. With the fucking rabbit head. What the fuck is that?
All right, so Stacy, your second bit of news?
Alright, my second bit of news again is with Pokemon, but something a little more specific and just something more specific about GameStop. So, on their, again, anniversary day, the GameStop's offering, like, a shit ton of cool stuff. Besides, like, the posters and foils and stuff. You can get $25 off of a 3DS. Just straight off that, if you just happen to want to buy a 3DS, why not get on that day just to get $25 off? All the Pokemon Amiibos, they said, will be in loads of stock, and if, people are there, so... If you want to get an Amiibo and they missed out, another good chance. Also, you get another chance to pre-order your Pokken pad for the game Pokken, the exclusive one. Ooh, look at that! It's just for this one. It's so cool. Yeah. It just looks standard. It just looks like whatever. It looks like they didn't even try. But but they have a whole bunch of cool like plush toys and stuff that are 20% off, all the Pokemon ones, and they have actually a whole bunch of Pokemon clothing there. Yeah, so that's interesting. And some of them include Pokemon boxer briefs, which look very weird. I actually saw someone wearing them. You have balls on your balls.
Reach inside, it's super effective.
I'm just hoping the crotch is painted like Onyx.
Yes. No, they have Pokemon. They have Pokemon jeggings in case you wanted to kill yourself.
That's a pun.
And they have like backpacks and stuff. I feel like that's weird. They just highlighted the jeggings and the boxers. Like I think you're gonna go forth with that. Yeah, but it's cool.
No, but like I said, the obvious puns would be use Harden, and at the end of the night, it's going to smell like Magikarp. Thank you.
Also, you get 20% off of all Pokemon figures as well, and you can pick up the red, blue, and red, blue, and yellow for $10. That's cool, and they're selling like a shit ton of different cards at discounted prices.
Cool.
So yeah, it'd be super like awesome, like fun times at GameStop, and also like a lot of their shit just in general, like the 3DS is on sale, so.
That could be fun.
Yeah.
All right. So for my second bit of news, saw this earlier today and thought it was pretty interesting, but over at Sploid, which is part of Gizmodo, they had an article where a player discovered a secret menu in the Mortal Kombat arcade machines like 20 years later. And it's apparently like Ed Boon's one, because when you put in the code at the top, it says like EJB menu. But for 1 and 2, quote, it allows you to watch various character endings, input initials directly into the leaderboard, which I would love to troll with, run debug and diagnostic tests, and do something called coin bookkeeping. There's also a hello option, which they speculate is to give like people he wanted to thank and stuff. And for Mortal Kombat 3, it's a little bit slightly more involved. It also it can immediately unlock all the hidden characters. Can also allow you to watch every fatality, which apparently you can do if you beat the game on master difficulty. But it also has a game in there called I don't know if it's like Panaco or Panacho / Miller game, which quote fires up an impossibly difficult Galaga clone. And it has a little message beforehand and stuff, and it's like, what the hell? Like it's awesome that it's just been in the game for 20 years, and they like show him putting it. They didn't say what the sequence was, but you can watch him like the little video is like hitting all these weird buttons to do it. But it's like, wow, that's I love stuff like that where it's like, oh, there's this random thing we found in this game. Like,
I always like that, especially when it's years later, and you're like, oh my god, it took you this long to find that? That's awesome.
like sometimes they do that, and then like the developers are like, okay, no one's found it, and they like say something. I almost feel like he's forgotten about it, and somebody just happened to find it. And like I don't know. I mean, it's possible he was like, okay, I should tell people, but like it just seems so random that somebody easily could have found it, and the people that put it in there were just like, oh yeah, that. All right. So now on to catch-up section. Do. So with two of the things that you did last week, take it away, Mole.
Alright. I've got 2 this week, and they're both watching stuff. First up, and they're both to do with video games and watching stuff. Thus, I'm all the things. But yeah, first one is Pixels.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I think of that the same way I thought of, like I said, like episode 7 of, not that interested, but I know people who were. Why the fuck not? And I got the same amount of enjoyment out of it. Because I was like, what the fuck is this with Pixels? Where it's like, okay, it's similar to what I mentioned with that one. It's literally just taking another film's script. Because the whole film seems like that fucking... Do you remember Futurama when all the stuff comes down?
Mm-hmm.
It's literally almost the same plot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh. Cool.
They wanted Donkey Kong to wash his thong?
Then we have Qbert talking.
Like, as in, like, actual words?
Yeah, which I don't like.
That's weird.
Which seems to be existing for the only reason to have him eventually say bullshit, and when he swears, the actual Qbert talk appears next to his head in the speech bubble. I'm like, oh, okay. So
yeah,
you've ruined him for a joke.
I would accept him talking if all he did was swear. Like if that's how he communicated.
Yeah, but I was like, that's weird because it should be like when that pops up, he should be talking like Wreck-It Ralph. It shouldn't be like this, where it feels to me like they ruined him just to make a joke, and I'm like, oh. And then spoilers for anyone that cares. At the end of the film, he turns into a hot woman, makes love to a guy who then gets him pregnant, and she gives birth to a whole crib full of Qberts.
Which meaning he slept with Qbert, which is really fucked up.
Which means somewhere out there, that's in a script.
Yeah. See, I think that's worse.
That's in a script that Hollywood was like, yes, and greenlit, and it took Ryan Reynolds how long to get Deadpool off the ground? Yep. But, yeah. I mean, it even says it at all when Adam Sandler even points out during the film, he's like, isn't anyone else creeped out by the fact 2 seconds ago he was Qbert? No? Okay. I'm like, Kevin James he doesn't do the fat guy falls over, but he's not that good. He's just a president that's not that powerful. Normally, whenever you see the president of the United States in a film, it's normally this commanding guy, and it's someone who can command the room. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Kevin James is like some random dude who happened to have been friends with Adam Sandler when they were kids, who now inexplicably is president. While Adam Sandler is the nerd guys, you know, the guys who come around and it's come from like the nerd hut, whatever it's called, on the film, and set up all the TVs and stuff in houses for people. So yeah, that.
I like when someone was making fun of it and they were pointing out, like, it's like, only he can save us. And they're like, why? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of actually normally socially adjusted people that also were really good at games. It's not like he was the only one that was super good at video games. Like, it didn't take off at all.
Yeah, you have that. Like, also, it's weird because at the beginning of the film, the only reason he was good at games is because he saw the pattern that the pixels moved in. To the point that he even acknowledges that current games, like when someone has Call of Duty up there, he can't play it because there's no pattern.
Mm.
So he can't do it. And it's like, oh, so you're not even the best gamer in this film.
Yeah.
And he was cheated by the guy from Game of Thrones, the little midget. I know that's an offensive term, that's the only way to word him. The guy from Game of Thrones, I like him, but he was in this as the villain because it turns out this entire time since they were kids he cheated because in his sunglasses he has the cheat codes that he entered during the cheat tournament that no one knew what he was doing. Also, the film doesn't seem to know what the hell its mind is. Because one minute, the reason the aliens did this is they sent up, like a time capsule into space, like they always did in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
They sent one of those up with kids winning the Donkey Kong tournament because 80s, they figured everyone needs to know this in space. Let's send that up. Happened all the fucking time. There's footage of Richter in space on a fucking Frogger tournament. Fact. But with this, they're like, the aliens saw this and thought, ooh, there's a good idea. You know those humans that just beat this? Let's make our technology that and go against them. So they come down. So they're clearly alien technology, but yet then inexplicably halfway through the film they suddenly forget the fact they were supposed to be aliens, and suddenly they're the actual characters. And I'm like, no! What the hell am I watching? It's like I fell asleep halfway through Independence Day and woke up in Wreck-It Ralph. This isn't how this works.
Well, didn't they, like, for most of them, they made them the villains, except for Pac-Man, they made Pac-Man? Like, wouldn't they have made the ghosts?
Yeah, they made Pac-Man a random villain and the ghosts are like minis.
Yeah. But just, like, weren't the aliens they were making, like, the enemies from the games, the things that came down. But instead of the ghosts, they're just like, no, we'll make Pac-Man, not the ghosts. Like, what?
Yeah.
Maybe they thought Pac-Man was the villain.
And Pac-Man just goes out and starts to eat stuff, including he eats the arm of the person who makes Pac-Man, apparently. But yeah, like I said, Pixels, it's what I expected it to be. To be fair, I'm not like, this is the worst thing. I was disappointed by it. It was exactly what I expected. But the kids had fun. Yeah, the kids had fun, so I'm like, that's all that matters. Because at the end of the day, they're going to like stuff I won't. Next up.
Job.
Yep. But next up, I bought a cartoon series, which they haven't seen yet, but I can tell you it's fucking awesome. That's why I bought this for just me. Sonic Boom. Because, as I mentioned a while back, when Sonic Boom was on TV here, Cartoon Network did that fucking annoying thing if they never advertised it, then randomly it was suddenly on, out of nowhere. Then they were showing them out of order and stuff, and that just pisses me off. I'm like, no, I'm not going to watch this out of order. So the first volume of DVDs with the first 13 episodes is out, and it was like £7. I'm like, I'll pick that up. Because like 15-minute episodes, I thought there's 13 of them. But the first episode, I loved it. And I was like, oh my god, that's fun. I don't mind the redesign of Knuckles, to be fair, but I liked it. And I loved Sonic's logic in that actually helps Eggman. Eggman creates a robot to send after Sonic called Burnbot. So what's its ability, Rick?
To burn stuff?
No.
Oh.
It has claws.
Okay.
Which Sonic is like, why does it have claws? And he's like, what do you mean? He's like, Eggman's like, what do you mean? He's like, it's called Burnbot. He's like, yeah. It should have fire, it should have flamethrowers, or shoot acid at me, or so it should burn something. That is false advertisement. Then later on in the episode, like much later on, after Eggman's tried to team up with Sonic in a fake sort of way because Sonic doesn't want Tails as his sidekick anymore because Tails gets badly injured. But basically, Eggman decides to do that. By the end of the episode, when Eggman reveals he's evil, he then goes, "Oh, and by the way, I took your word for it, Sonic." And he's like, "Oh, yeah." And Burnbat then suddenly opens up his chest and starts squirting flamethrowers out of his chest. I'm like, that is funny. Eggman let Eggman be to burn stuff, as Sonic pointed out. It should, if it Burnbat, it should burn stuff. But it was just one of those. It was 15 minutes long, but it was really fucking fun. And I like Sonic, and I like that show. So yeah, Sonic Boom.
Nice. All right, so Pew, your catch up.
I played Division. That was fun, kinda. It's super buggy. So much so that I had to like turn off the game and cause certain areas to go into pretty much like those tents to get into the main area and then get into the dark zone. Because both those instances you have to go through a separate door and then a tent.
And I assume you reported all these bugs.
Oh, totes. And then did nothing. And then it didn't do anything, obviously, because it's still broke. And then I couldn't figure out a way to get over it. But I found a way to get across it eventually. Not for lack of trying. You have to run from like a while away and keep running in a straight line. And then you'll go over the padded area under the tent, and you'll go over that section instead of falling to the floor like you did in like DCUO or something. So, yeah. So that was one of the bigger ones that actually had to turn off the game and restart it and all that shit. But I know it was kind of fun, I guess. It was fun going in the dark zone and getting shit, and then you have to like extract it, which means you don't like leave the dark zone. You just call a helicopter, and then they just send you a rope and drop off your shit, and they clean it for you, and it'll be with because it's you're in an affected area. And you'll be in a storage area when you get back, which is a really cool thing. So you don't have to leave the area and secure your stuff every time you wanna like just get more shit. So that's cool. And it's fun working in teams when they're like not completely gonna betray you, which happens a lot. So there was that.
And I will admit, I reported the bug I got wrecked on. I mentioned to you that Crispy also got. Inexplicably, me and Crispy had it where our languages changed.
Would it turn
When in there, I was in fucking Italian, so everyone gives a shit about Italians. Oh. And Crispy was randomly German, who are better than Italians, I'll admit, but it's like, what the hell? And I'm kidding, just because Pew's Italian, in case people are wondering.
Gotcha.
But in case people are listening, like, why is he overly hating the Italians? But no, but my languages changed to that, and Crispy's changed to German, and then we were like, why? We had to go in the options and change it. There was like no reason for this.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I didn't run across that one, but that sounds like that would be funny later.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny later, but at the time I was like, I don't know which one's options. I mean, I think it was like, my Italian's a little rusty, but I think it was something like option I.
I like the idea that I don't know when it happened, but I like the picture you're just running and you like started shooting guys, and all of a sudden it's just in Italian. You're like, what? I must have shot the Italian power-up guy? What the hell happened?
Yeah, I didn't notice it until like midway through the game. Suddenly, when I'm looking at the options, I don't understand what the hell any of this says. Okay. Why is this happening? But it was just really weird.
So then I
got drafted.
Gotcha. Yes.
So then I was playing Lego Dimensions, and that was fun. I found an exploit area in the game, which I guess, I don't know, some people might want to use, some people not want to use. I won't judge you for doing it because I did it for a bit, but then I was like, this is kind of cheating, so then I was like, okay, I'm done. Because I got one power-up for my vehicle or whatever, and that's like all I wanted, so I got that much. But then the shit, what are they called? The Arkham Asylum, DC, Lego area, you can fight these not Joker people. They're just people who are like in like inmate uniforms in Arkham Asylum. You can attack them, and if you attack them really fast, like you have like maybe some high-powered weapon or anything, you'll just get like you'll get like attack 10 people all in a row and get times 10, and then they'll drop like maybe 20 bits or whatever. And then you'll get like times 10, times 10, times 10, times 10 over and over. So you'll accrue a lot of, currency for you to spend on stuff.
Yeah, which to be fair, that's not really an exploit.
And I feel like it's an exploit.
A load of Lego games have that areas where people choose to go and quickly farm. I mean, if you also add the fact that you have the multipliers and stuff, it makes sense, because if you had like all the if you ended up getting the multiplier on as well, and then doing that and stuff, and with the fact you got the figures and stuff, it makes sense, because then that way people could buy all the upgrades.
Yeah, I don't know. I was getting like thousands of like things within like seconds, so I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. So yeah, I was just playing more of that and stuff, just going around the world collecting stuff. I wanted to get more of the red bricks, or I already have the red bricks, but I wanted to like actually purchase them and be able to use them. So that's why I was getting a whole lot of bricks for. So that was super fun.
Cool.
Cool.
All right. So for my catch-up, I did. First game I'll talk about is Arslan, the Warriors of Legend, on which is like Tecmo Koei's Koei Tecmo's newest hack and slash one. So it's kind of it's basically a Warriors game, just about something that's not ancient China or ancient Japan. This time it's based off an anime series or manga, whichever.
Thank you. I saw that in the store and I was wondering what the hell it was, because it was like that. It mentioned The Thing cross the Warriors series, and I'm like, oh, in the trailer, I'm like, oh, I don't know what that series is. Is this another game series? But now you've answered.
Yeah, but it's a fun game. It just I'd say that the biggest problem I have with it, kind of spoilers, but I was playing through it, and you look at the stage, and it's like first half, second half, and I'm like, okay, fine. I was doing it, and I did the stage that was kind of big. It seemed kind of important, but it was like, oh look, and then the bad guy got away. It's like, all right, and then it's like during the cutscene, it's like playing credits, and I'm like, what the hell? What? And then it's like, yeah, you completed it. I was like, what? It felt like like the first part of a story. It's like that, but there was no resolution. It was just kind of like, well, we've learned a few things, but that I'll get that evil bad guy next time. I'm like, but you haven't solved anything. Like, what the hell is this? So I looked into it, because I was like, wait, is that like maybe the original one never ended, and that's like the thing, is this is all there is to it. And as far as I could tell, based off the I needed Jim and his Wikipedia powers, but well, according to me, anyway. But so what I could find out was that the guy's been writing the novels since like '86, and I don't think they're done yet. And there was a manga adaptation like early '90s. That's the one I remember hearing a bit about, and an OAV series. And the manga series caught up to the books, and then apparently made their own ending. So they don't have everything there because he made stuff past that. But that one kind of ended, but still doesn't have all of it because they made up their own ending. And then they had an OAV series, but they never finished it. And so then later, they apparently are making a TV series of it now, and they've just finished season 1. So as far as I can tell, this game is like the first season of the show. So it also, as near as I can figure, nothing that is in this entire franchise is actually complete.
See, that seems really weird to me. Just because, and I don't know if we'd agree or disagree on that, but there seems to be way too many of those games now. Like, they've already announced the second one, the Dragon Quest ones, but Dragon Quest and Hyrule Warriors and stuff all had like original stories. Mm-hmm. Why the fuck didn't they just make this have an original story?
Yeah, I don't know. I assume for a sequel, but I don't know. It's just
Dragon Quest is getting a sequel.
I know, but yeah, it's just odd because it didn't feel like an ending. Like if I had maybe known that going in, it wouldn't have been as weird. It was just I thought because I remember seeing I never actually watched the show, but I remember seeing like it in the store and ads and stuff back in like late '90s or mid '90s when I was going to Suncoast and crap. So I was like, for sure, I didn't know there was a new TV show because I was like, oh, for sure this is like the old, because like Fist of the North Star, they made a Warriors game like that, but that was like an older one, so I assumed this was similar. I didn't think it was like the newer adaptation of it. So I was like, why is this not finished? Like, if they did that with Fist of the North Star, it would have been like weird. It's like, oh, this is the first half of the story. I mean, because like the first game of that was the whole original series, and then the second game was that with more characters and like the really crappy sequel series. So like that made sense. It was still the whole first series. It was the whole story. This one just felt really weird.
That seems weird.
But it is fun though. And like one of the different things it does is characters have multiple weapons, and you can switch in combat, but also there's a way to switch like in mid combo, which is kind of cool. Like if you do when you do the triangle attack, I guess for PlayStation, when you do the like charge or power attack to end the combo, if you then hit I guess it'd be R1 for you, or right bumper, and then keep hitting attack, you like switch to your next weapon and do some attacks, which is kind of neat. And strangely enough, like a lot of characters have a bow and arrow in this, and usually they've been making the bow attacks way better over the years in the Warriors games. These ones are like ridiculous, like they're so good because like some of the bosses have like shields where like you have to take that down before you can actually damage them. And the bow is like ridiculously good at that because you just keep shooting at them, and like while they're running up to you, then it like breaks their shield and they're in your face, and then you start hitting them, and I'm like, this is almost unfair. But yeah, it's I enjoyed the game. It's not as long. It's not as long or doesn't have as much content as other Warriors games, but it was still fun. Then the next game I played was Sacred 3 back on the on the 360 because they gave it away free with the Games with Gold a couple months ago, and decided to since it's co-op, I was eventually convinced my wife to play it. So, and that game is weird. It's like
Like
it was
weird,
funny because
weird, like uncomfortable weird, or just like this doesn't make sense weird.
a little bit of both, but because we're playing it, and it's funny because I brought up I forget his name. He was crazy, and I don't remember his name. No, Pew's old quote unquote friend. Because I was talking about the Diablo versus Gauntlet thing.
Oh, Cody.
Cody, thank you. Because like Sacred 2, which is a really really good game, was like that kind of Diablo view or slash Baldur's Gate, Champions of the North, whatever. But it's like a big open world, and it was awesome. This one, still the same view, but it feels more kind of like Gauntlet, where it's just like all the levels are predefined. There's no random variance. There's no, you click to go to an area and you just go through the area. It's like there is a world map and you can kind of go you can go different places. So it's not super linear, but like each area doesn't change, so there's no like random elements to it.
So it's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. That's Marvel Ultimate Alliance. Hey,
Kinda,
Pete,
yeah.
remember Marvel Ultimate Alliance? No, okay, I'll go through that when he's finally right.
Well,
That reminds me of Lara Croft.
Yeah. But it kind of reminded me. This one kind of reminded me more of Gauntlet than Diablo, because also like you get weapons, but they're not like it's like an upgrade. So like you can equip 3 different. Maybe there's more. We only have 3 different ones, but like there's no like stats associated with them. Like they have their own upgrade trees that you unlock as you level up, and you pay for them. It's not like you get like, oh, this bow does poison, or this one, shoots faster, or this one's just really strong. It's not like that. It's like just these 3 that have skill trees. It's like you equip it like a skill, and then like the armor, it just upgrades as you level up and pay for it. It doesn't, there's no like different types or anything. It's just armor. It's not even like a helmet is different than boots or anything. And but then like the plot, I forgot because my friend told me about this and I totally forgot. But it like tries to be funny, and that the game is almost a parody of itself, but I'm not sure it's supposed to be. So it's like some of the things are genuinely funny, but a lot of times it comes off as really awkward. Like someone was just like, "We need to make this funny," and they were putting in stuff they thought was funny, and somebody would laugh at. But most times you're like, you're kind of trying too hard. It's like, I don't know. Like it felt like some of the things that were funny were the Family Guy strategy of like you hear it enough and it's funny. Like you get these weapon spirits that do some stuff, but like the first one is kind of funny because he's like really smarmy. So like and he sounds like not Sideswipe, I forget. Anyway, but he sounds like if you ever saw Team America, the like Codsworth or whatever, the guy that leads them, he sounds kind of like that. I don't know if it's a voice actor, but you know, it's very distinctive. Right? But like sometimes when you get the guy, he's like, get up close and nail that guy. Ooh, so hot, you know? And he says stuff like that, and you're like, what? And like the Dark Elf sings for no reason, like just her thing, she'll sing, and there's like a dragon who his ability gives you a shield, but he's like really like whiny. So he's like, "No, can we finish this and go home?" And it's like, "What the hell?" And like, even the people giving you the quest, she's like, "Oh man, sorry, I teleported you so close to the camp. I'm such a noob." And you're like, "What?" Like, and like the one clan, because like basically the different classes are different like races of people. So like there's like Amazon woman, there's the Seraphim, there's like the people that worship the sun or whatever. So like he doesn't talk much, but whenever he does, it's just like, oh no, there's the darkness covering this land, and then that guy's like, we like the sun, and it's like, thanks. Like it's a parody of itself. Just weird, like sometimes funny and sometimes like really it's I don't know, like it's like terrible but also not terrible. It's just weird.
Like so bad it's good.
Almost. I wouldn't quite go that far. Like it's not great, but it's also not terrible. It's like so bad it's mediocre kind of thing.
So bad it's
Like
mediocre.
I wouldn't call it a classic, but it's like if you like, I can definitely see why coming off of Sacred 2, if like I didn't know this stuff, bought it at launch, I would have been pissed. But knowing about it and getting it for free and like playing it, you're like, okay, this isn't as good as Sacred 2 by any stretch of the imagination, but it's still good enough to play. And it's like an intern wrote it. It's just so weird. You know, like where like if you had a story and like instead of going forward, like just about every section had to have a joke. It's like that. Like they don't let them go naturally. It's like, oh, let's throw in a joke here, and you're like, that doesn't always work.
And I was gonna say, to be fair, Rick,
Mm-hmm.
you may have just completely spoilt the next radio play, 'cause I believe "I Worship the Sun" was Pew's character.
No, I tried to make a serious one, and she's gonna parody it. No.
Clearly,
yeah,
I'm going to be of the fairy class.
Buzz. But it's weird. Like it's not bad. It's definitely more fun with other people. But yeah, it's kind of.
Fine, you convinced me. I'll re-download it, Rick.
Did you actually download it?
I clicked add to cart. I was kidding. It's
Nice.
on my to download list.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's what I was going to talk about. My unfortunate decision to buy Kinect Sports. I say unfortunate because I do have one question about the Xbox Kinect, Rick.
Okay.
And I argue it's the same. I have the same question for the PlayStation camera before anyone gets offended.
You're
But
too late.
why the fuck isn't it designed for flat screen TV? Like, I can understand the PS3 and 360 cameras maybe not being that because maybe not everyone had the flat screens as much 10 years back when the consoles were coming out. But nowadays, my TV is so fucking thin. If I go to put the Kinect on top, it just goes no. And I need the Kinect above the TV, or most of the sports won't read me. Like the bowling, the amount of times we spend most of it holding our hand above our head, so it finally like, oh yeah, you've got a head.
I gotcha.
Now my niece could do it perfectly. I just couldn't because I'm not the right height because I was too tall for it. So it's like no.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
Yeah, but when I could, it worked. I was like, no, because now I'm having to look around for the Kinect clips so I can click it on a TV. It's like, no.
Yeah, I remember I did that with even the Wii sensor bar. I had to like tape it up there because the way the TV was.
See, I could see that, and will admit I never did that with the Wii one because you know the little line on it. it's on the bottom. That happens to be the thickness of my TV, so it clicks on. But I can understand for other people it wouldn't. But on the top,
well, mine's like, well, it's like the part that has the screen is slanted a bit forward, and the one behind it like is slanted the other way, so like there's no flat surface for it.
Nice.
So I just had to like, I just use Scotch tape because it's really light, so it's not and it doesn't look too horrible. It's just I was like, oh, okay, I just got to tape this on. But yeah, like the PlayStation camera has that weird like armature to it, so I was able to like position it in a way that it's on there. But yeah, you're right. It's kind of, you have to jerry rig something. You can't just like put it on and be like, yup. It's just like, okay. And
they sell like GameStop and stuff sell clips that are third party that click it on and position it so the camera stays on top of the TV. Cool.
Yeah.
Why didn't it come with that? It's common Jan. It's like, you're like, nah.
You're right. That's kind of, it should have. That's funny.
I mean, it says, I think both cameras are thicker than my TV.
Yeah. Well, originally with the original Kinect, what I ended up doing was because my TV was mounted up, so I couldn't put it on top, and I had it just under it, but that like didn't always work because I'm like 6'3". And my son is not, so like I had to put it down a little bit, and then it read it better. So I took like an old speaker stand and just put it on top of that, and it worked really well.
I could see that. I wanted it, above the TV where it recommends, because I was like, well, if you see my head and see the floor, because lengthwise with like holding it at an angle, that'd be perfect.
Right. Yeah.
But no.
All right, so I believe it's on to the topic, and time for me to jet out, unfortunately.
No!
Social media is changing TV. Look at Raw. That's all I had.
I was going to say, like some things, because I was actually comparing the Walking Dead website versus the CBS website, because one of my friends was like, I was gonna watch the new Walking Dead or whatever, but you'd have to like log in or whatever, and he doesn't have his parents like password or something, but he can watch like the Supergirl one, like the last like 5 episodes or whatever, and then you can like log in to see like all of them, which is fair enough, but like I don't know, like because of that, Like,
See,
it's like accessed episodes, so I think he would be more tempted to like pirate one or something. I'm not advocating pirating, you shouldn't do that. But I'm just saying, like,
Yeah, we do not. But yeah, I was gonna say to you, Rick. Because I said this to someone the other day, and I was like, before I sent you that message, I was having a conversation with someone. I was like, this is a really good conversation. I should be recording this. I put it to you: social media is single-handedly saving the television. Because what rose up now? Obviously, it's Netflix, which is fine, and it's DVRs, which I've got, that's fine too. As a result, if they didn't without social media, I feel like everyone would be like, "I'm just gonna wait till it's on Netflix," or "I'll just record and watch it at my own leisure." Social media, because of how often people talk about how much it's trending and all the spoilers, it does that thing of like I mentioned to you, Rick, one of the only reasons I went to see episode 7 was just so the others couldn't spoil it for me.
Yeah.
Like they would have. It's like if I'm watching Arrow or Flash or Supergirl or something like that live, let's say, you kind of want. You know what I mean? You kind of want to tune in live, so you're at the forefront of all these spoilers, so you don't get spoiled.
Yeah.
And as a result, it's made it so people want to tune in live. Therefore, DVRs and Netflix and stuff are being used as they were intended for. If, like, say, Rick does at work, then he will record the show and watch it when he gets back, which is perfectly fine. But there was that joke of people just recording the show and going, nah, just go fast forward past the adverts. Cool, which is fine. I've done that with some stuff. And it's like, not a lot of stuff, but mainly, ironically, stuff that I haven't been like, it's on, but I don't really feel like watching it right now. But by doing this way, it means people don't, not as many people will do that, because most people feel they have to be there at the forefront, tweeting and Facebooking and MySpacing all about it. And I don't know why it's always funny to add MySpacing.
It's especially with Walking Dead. People are like, oh, you didn't see the latest episode, and blah blah blah, or like you can't like talk to me until you see it, or like whatever. Because there's a lot of that in my office. Like there was, like when the guy was like, no, you can't talk to me until you've seen the episode. I'm like, really?
Two
Just
words for
ignore
you,
me all? Like, what if I
Two
wanted to
words.
talk to you about like the weather or something? I couldn't talk to you.
Two things, Pew.
Mm-hmm.
Next time I say that, go, okay, I respect that. Fuck you. Don't ever talk to me again. Fuck you. Like, I would say to it, like, let's say Richter saw, I don't know, Batman v Superman before me. I would say to him, please don't spoil that, but we would still talk about other stuff.
Yeah.
Or vice versa. Like, I've seen stuff before Rick, and I'll say to him, okay, I'll try not to spoil it for you, which he said he appreciates, which is fine. What I don't do is say, oh, Rick, yeah, have you seen the new Goosebumps film yet? No. Fuck you. You can't talk to me.
Yeah,
You
that's
have to
the
earn
only
the
thing
right
I
to
would
talk to
totally
me.
talk about.
Yeah, you have to earn the right to talk to me. Ugh.
You have to
Yeah.
unlock it. Oh God.
What do you mean? Either turn around and say, fuck you, and just walk off. Or
Well, 'cause see,
turn around and
I
say
watched-
to him, but I was going to talk to you about all the sexual positions I wanted to do you in. Ah, jeez. And just walk
That's me
off.
not being a bitch. I watched 3 episodes of Walking Dead yesterday, and not spoiler, but it was stupid. All of them continued. But then I haven't been a fan of really Walking Dead. I've just been doing so people stop saying you can't talk to me.
And just say to him, yeah, I saw it, and just nod along.
Yeah.
You don't have to go, oh, well, no, I need to watch
Then
it.
they'll ask me shit about
That
it,
might
and
be
then I'll
an
be like,
impromptu pop quiz.
then they'll like ask me shit about it.
I would love an impromptu pop quiz in a place of employment about a TV show that was unrelated. that I would
Seriously,
watch.
he's like, you can't talk to me about it. I'm like, okay, I saw it. And
You
he's
say,
like,
I
well,
saw
what
it
is-
last night, and when they say to you, did you go, oh my god, that bit with the zombie? Oh my god.
It's like, yeah, why they do so much walking? I know it's The Walking Dead, but they don't have to walk everywhere. Just say that and they'll be like, yeah.
It's just stupid and really annoys me that they do stupid, shitty things that always get them killed, like, all the time. And it's
I
like, you
can't-
know what? I'm glad you died.
Can't wait for the sequel series to segue in that.
Yes.
It's super annoying.
Yeah,
But,
I was but yeah, with the social media impact, I
it
think
does
that's
pressure
something
me
that's
to, because everybody's talking about it, to see it.
see, for me, it's not necessarily. For me personally, it was more to avoid the spoilers, but I can also see the wanting to do that. But yeah, if anyone's listening out here, if you say to someone you haven't seen something, don't talk to them. Fuck off.
Seriously.
You make sure your coworker listens to our podcast.
Yeah.
He actually says he does tune in for like the first like 10 minutes and then stops. So maybe he does.
First 10 minutes and stops what? So he hears, "Hi, welcome to Opinion Junkies," or "Hi, welcome to Opinion Junkies. I'm your host, Richter Hammer," or "Hi, I'm your host, Chris, aka the Mole." And it's like, thank you. Me and Richter banter a little bit, and it's like, oh yeah, and also Anastasia, and he just turns it off. He's like, no, she hasn't seen Walking Dead yet. I can't
Yes.
listen to her. How dare
Don't
you
talk
talk
at
to
me
me
and
like
tell you. Tell you watch that show.
Oh god. Oh, poor Pew. I want to see. I want to see him now. I want to see her office on fire. I want to see him screaming for help, and I want Pew to say, "Sorry, I can't
just
talk to
him,
you right
though.
now. I haven't seen Walking Dead."
It's not just him. It's like 4 or 5 different guys in the office.
To be fair, they're massive cunts. Just ignore them. That's what I'd do.
One
That
of them
sounds
is like directly I have to talk to though, who's like in my work.
Because I had something like that once with someone when they were like, "Oh my god, we need to talk about last night's football match." I was like, okay, and like, we need to talk about it. I'm like, okay. Like, did you see it? I'm like, no. Oh god, you can't talk to us. And I'm like, okay. That's literally all it was okay, and just walked off. 'Cause fuck it.
Okay, well, I will have to head off. So
He hasn't seen
Hear the
Walking
rest
Dead either.
I know I haven't. I gotta go watch. I can't talk to you people.
Can't talk to us yet. Rick won't talk to us yet. We haven't seen insert anime.
Yep, that's right. You haven't seen Slayers next, so.
Make sure you tell Wifeblade that there's people in her work that refuse to talk to Pew because she hasn't seen a TV show about zombies.
I will.
That I don't
Because
even
that's
like.
the most
You forgot to
important
mention that I don't even like the show.
Yeah,
I said just fake it. Yeah, that bit with the zombie. Oh my god.
It'd be better if I actually liked the show, but I don't know why I fucking watch it. I guess I would have nothing better to do, and
You used to
it's
like
just
the show,
annoying.
to be fair.
I did used to like the show, and then it got really shit, and then it stayed shit, and then it kept staying shit, and then for some reason it's still on.
Because people need to watch it, or the co-workers don't talk to them.
I guess so.
Because, as they said on that Mitchell and Webb look, Pew, even viewers that watch it due to peer pressure or watch it due to some sense of irony or watch it ironically, they still show up the same as every other viewer.
Yep.
Yeah, how do they show up the same? Just the same. But yeah. Which means if you're viewing The Walking Dead, which means you're wondering why it's still on. It's because people like you were watching it, and therefore its rating would still be on.
I know, but I stopped watching it for a while, and then it was still on. So like,
Yeah,
and then I
say that because there's going to be other people who do the same thing.
Yeah, I know.
I said just fake it. Just fake it, or just say to them, "I'm not interested in that show. I don't like it. Fuck off."
I know, but then he won't talk to me, and then I'll have to sit and it'll be awkward, and then it'll be like 8 hours of just. Bleh.
As opposed to 8 hours to talk about something you don't like or someone who's.
Well, he doesn't talk about the Walking Dead the whole time. He talks about Walking Dead for like maybe an hour, and then the other 7 hours we talk about like video games and stuff, or like.
Okay, well, why can't you say we'll just say to him, okay, you normally talk to me about The Walking Dead for like an hour, so here's what's gonna happen. Fuck off. I will come back to you in an hour. We can talk about it.
Fuck off. I'll come back to you in an hour. There you go. See this little schedule I made up of your talking schedule? I crossed this part out. You know what I'm saying? You have to follow the schedule now.
To be fair, he's trying to do that with you.
I know. It's just funny that things are like that.
Dude, print off a talking schedule and put it up like this is the hours that Walking Dead will be discussed.
There you go.
Well, dude, you want to say to him, oh my god, did you see last night's Walking Dead? When he goes, yeah, I go, ooh, and you can't talk to me. When he says, yes, so you can't talk to me.
There you go.
Just seem to be like, wait, what?
There you go.
But no, like I said, I think social media has been helping TV shows.
Yeah.
Now, there has been some bad stuff because people overly spoiled the stuff on there.
Yeah.
But that one was just a given.
I think there's a certain amount of like interaction people can have for obviously I know they record them like in advance and stuff, but based on like ratings of how things are going, I think they're more likely to change or slightly alter things.
To be fair, one of the things Rick mentioned was he mentioned the wrestling, because on the wrestling everything's a hashtag and everything's a @ symbol and stuff now as they're doing it, because as it's on live, people are constantly talking as it's live. And sometimes that will affect the show, and sometimes I'll read stuff that people have tweeted and have it at the bottom and do all this stuff and read them out loud. It's weird.
Like the final season of American Idol that anybody watches that I haven't watched it in like 6 years or something, is going on, and that's like a big interactive. You know, everyone's gonna be all about that, and you know, live
all
and
about that bass. Rebel. I'm all about that bass. No, tremble. Sorry. I miss Rick. He filled these awkward silences.
Well,
at least he's kind enough to pretend like he was actually giving a shit about what you said. And I'm something about puppies or cats. No, I'm kidding.
American Idol, like thing, people are gonna be like calling in, tweeting or whatever. I'm sure they're gonna have ways to measure the popularity of all the people when they get down the line and everything. And you know, because it's the last season, they're gonna make it out as like some huge like loss to society, I guess, or something.
Yeah, that's something else that TV shows have been doing as well. As well as going by ratings now, they're also actually accurately measuring social media.
Yeah, like there was
oh look, here's some hashtags to do with our shows. Let's see how much it's done and various stuff. Like, oh my god, this is how many people about various stuff. This is how many tweets we've had about our show. Therefore, even if the ratings are lower, the network will be like, but this many people let's still talk about it. That is drawing more business. This is cool.
Yeah, they measure it like really like specifically. I've seen it in some of them. The action member, okay, these people are talking about these 4 characters. These 4 people are talking about like this. They even go like to the topics and like how many people are discussing what, and it's like whoa. or at least which parts of the show had the most tweets or something, which again is weird.
It's ironically, because different people watch it digitally and all this stuff. As a result, ratings don't mean as much nowadays. Like maybe someone's DVR'd it, therefore they don't show up in a rating
Yeah.
on some DVRs and stuff. So I'm like, okay.
But
Therefore,
it's interesting. You can like watch a whole show just to see like how many like okay, in the beginning they only had this many, and this is what they're talking about at the beginning, and in the middle of the show they had this, and at the end like maybe something dramatic happened and like that, and then like it's just weird how you can go through the whole show.
I'm gonna start fucking with them. I'm gonna start going on there. Every TV show, right as it's on in America and it's trending, I'm gonna make the post needs more goldfish.
There you go.
Hashtag whatever the show is.
But do it like at a time where it's really, really low and just spam the shit out of it so I can see one really big line.
Yeah. Imagine that next week on The Walking Dead. What's he's walking and suddenly you just see him stop and go, oh yeah, and there's our goldfish. And then you just look and you see it, you'd be like, mole.
Yeah, I just want to see one giant TV Twitter spike or something when they look at it. Like we'll just see a whole like freaking mole spike and then back to like normal fluctuation of tweets.
I also like the idea of everyone doing that. Because imagine the network being like, oh my god, this many people are watching all these shows and they're all talking about goldfish. Oh my god, did you hear me? Goldfish are going to be the next big thing. What if we make our own superhero? Because superheroes are huge right now, yeah? He has all the powers of a goldfish.
Yeah, powers of a goldfish. You mean like Aquaman or something? Like
No, because Aquaman has telekinesis and
okay, he's like Aquaman
telepathic and stuff. He's
powers.
Aquaman with a lot less powers and with a golden suit.
That will totally sell. That's gonna put butts in seats.
I'm the goldfish.
There you go. And if we darken, he also has to be dark and brooding and M-rated.
Yeah, as I said, it'll be like
duck the fish.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. So you'll be like, I'm the goldfish. Bob to me as he dunks the criminal's head into the toilet.
Oh god, that's just like everything wrong in society. Oh, in a nutshell, just some M-rated freaking like dark and gritty goldfish like superhero.
I'm beating the shit out of you, but here's the thing, yeah? I'm a goldfish. I'm gonna forget when to stop.
Oh my god, this is like so ridiculous. And the thing is, I could see people like liking that for like some stupid reason.
I could see some people liking it if it's as ridiculous as we made it, because then it'd be a parody.
Yeah.
Goldfish and his sidekick Cracker.
Oh, there you go.
He will be played by a black guy, because I'm not racist.
Black. I don't know if it's more racist to do a black guy or not.
A black guy called Cracker.
Yeah. I don't know if that's more racist because of how ironic it is.
I do an Asian when people think it's a fortune.
Maybe you can play it off he likes to eat crackers.
Yeah. So it'll be Goldfish Cracker. That'll be the new superhero team.
There we go. 2020.
Yeah. Every now and again they'll do crossovers with like Little Mermaid and stuff.
Little Mermaid. Like, get that bitch on the hold.
Yeah, he'll romance the mermaid at some point just to bring in ratings.
Yeah.
She'll be like, yeah, and just let all her eggs go everywhere as he's then like jacking off into him.
Make a bunch of littler mermaids.
Little half mermaid, half goldfish.
Mermaid, half goldfish. How does that look? She's got like two fish halves, or like 1/4 human. Like it's got one human arm.
Two fish halves. Two fish halves. Bottom half green tail. Top half goldfish.
Tail.
No. Top half goldfish. So it's a goldfish with a green tail. But yet they're still going to call it half mermaid.
It's got to be at least 1/4 or 1/8 human though. So it's got to have like one human appendage or like maybe a finger or hand or something.
It'll have the left eye of a human.
The left eye of a human. There you go.
So it has to keep it closed as it's underwater.
Closed because it's underwater. So it'll be like a pirate. He'll be winking all the time.
Yeah, you'll have a patch to cover his human eye.
This just sounds like a cereal mascot.
We just invented the most shittest thing ever. But I really look forward to if Rick goes back to listen to this. He's like,
Oh
okay, that's
god.
where they went with the when I was away. What? Bob to me. Wait, what the hell's going on here?
Oh my god.
I'm gonna forget when to stop.
Oh my god. Oh god. Yeah, see that's a problem. So social media doesn't know when to stop, and like neither do we.
Yeah, no. With social media, like I said, people do the thing of spoilers, which is bad. But it's also gets people talk about shows, and sometimes people will go and watch a show just because it's trending.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be like, "Oh, that's trending. Let's go watch it," which is could be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's also a bad thing. But it is a good thing, and like I said, it's helping TV shows out now because it's counteracting the on-demand services.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say social media has one other thing with TV shows which I don't like, and this is the same with movies.
Mm-hmm.
How many things now leak on, and they leak online, but social media helps to spread them more. Like, I'll be like, this is a screenshot from an upcoming episode, blah, 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 blah. And it'll tell you pretty much the plot of the episode, or this picture will be like a major spoiling. Like, oh, gee, thanks. That would have been a nice
Yeah.
surprise.
So again, it helps, or not helps, but like hurts with the spoilers and
Yep.
stuff, or just reveals of the episode.
Yep. But I thank Anastasia Laceby for joining me.
You're welcome.
And if you have any ideas for future episodes of Goldfish Man,
Yeah, leave them in the
and
comments.
they can include Arch Nemesis or Nemesi. They can include his sidekick, because maybe Cracker's a little wrong, and you don't want it to be Goldfish and Cracker. You want it to be like Fish and Chip. So it'll just be like one large
I think it
chip.
should be a cat. These cats eat goldfish.
There you go.
And then you can have harm to a cat, and it'll be okay because he's evil.
Yeah. Or it'll be a human who wants to trap him in a giant bowl.
There you go.
A bowl
No.
which is for goldfish, yet for some reason in there has a castle. What the fuck's that about? More on this on the next exciting adventures of Goldfish Boy.